Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Millennium TV News. This is Tania Akhtar with top stories. Obama bans some military equipment sales to local police. Nearly 200 arrested in Texas after deadly biker gang shootout. Apple gets mixed ruling in patent fight with Samsung. And names written in Nepali Valencia footballers pay respect to earthquake victims. Now the details. President Obama has banned the sale of some kinds of military equipment to local law enforcement agencies in response to widespread criticism of a paramilitary-like response to riots in a St. Louis suburb last August. In doing so, Obama put his stamp on the recommendations of a multi-agency federal working group that recommended banning sales of some military equipment and providing more training, supervision, and oversight of others. The White House released details of the action in advance of Obama's speech Monday in Camden, NJ, where he will highlight a wide range of administration will initiatives to fight crime, improve police-community relations, and improve transparency in policing. Banned will be tracked armored vehicles, bayonets, grenade launchers, camouflage uniforms, and large-caliber weapons. Other kinds of equipment will be available to most police departments as long as they meet national policing standards, track their use, or receive approval from the federal government before selling or transferring it. Agriculture Commissioner James Comer said in an interview on WDRB television that the woman who accused him of battering her sent him a book autographed by a Connecticut politician, directly contradicting the story he told at a press conference he and his wife held May 5.
Collect political books, and I read political books, and he was an interesting...
At this press conference, Comer said that Marilyn Thomas was living in Connecticut in 2001 and that while he was at a legislative conference in Newark, she drove to his hotel in Times Square and gave him the book in the hotel restaurant. But Thomas, who acknowledged she gave him the book, said following that press conference that Comer was wrong and that she did not meet him to give him the book.
Marilyn Thomas, I thanked her for the gift.
Lindsey Graham said Monday he will announce his run for the presidency on June 1 from his hometown in Central SC. Graham, a Republican, confirmed his plans on CBS this morning. "I'm running because I think the world is falling apart. I have been more right than wrong on foreign policy," Graham said. Asked if he was running because he thought other Republican candidates lacked foreign policy experience, he said, "It's not the fault of others or their lack of this or that makes me want to run. It's my ability in my own mind to be a good commander-in-chief and to make Washington work." Graham has been exploring the race for months with trips to New Hampshire and Iowa. He was elected to a third term in the Senate last year, defeating 6 primary opponents who challenged his conservative credentials. "In my view, Democrats and Republicans work together too little, and I would try to change that if I got to be president," Graham said. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry had some hard words for North Korea during a press conference in Seoul earlier today. He warned that military provocations and its rampant human rights abuses will only further isolate Pyongyang. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry slammed North Korea on Monday for its latest military provocations and human rights abuses. In a press conference following talks with South Korean Foreign Minister Young Byung-si on Monday, Kerry warned of stronger sanctions against Pyongyang for its recent test of a submarine-launched ballistic missile. "We are indeed talking about ways to increase pressure and increase the potential of either sanctions or other means to make it clear to him that he is on a very dangerous course in the missile system and continued pursuit of his nuclear weapons program." Calling the latest high-level executions as one of the most flagrant examples of the country's reckless disregard for human rights, Kerry said the North Korean leader could ultimately be punished for the abuses. "And if their heroic conduct continues, it's hard to see how that referral to the criminal court will not take place. Their behavior is against all notions of conscience, all standards of behavior anywhere in the world." Despite the strong words, Kerry said Washington is seeking a peaceful resolution for the Korean Peninsula, not further conflict, saying this will only be possible when Pyongyang is ready to deal with its nuclear program. The Islamic State seized control of the key Iraqi city of Ramadi on Sunday, the biggest victory for the extremists this year, despite stepped-up U.S.-led airstrikes targeting the region, according to officials in Anbar province. Ramadi has fallen, Muhammad Hammer, a spokesman for Anbar province, said as Iraqi forces withdrew from the city. The city was completely taken. It was a gradual deterioration. The military is fleeing. Hammer told the Associated Press that the militants killed up to 500 civilians and soldiers and forced around 8,000 people to flee their homes as they captured the city. Ramadi, the provincial capital of Western Anbar province, is the latest battleground in the Iraqi government's efforts to drive out the Islamic State from areas the group seized last year. With the help of U.S.-led airstrikes, the Iraqi forces and Kurdish fighters had made gains against the Islamic State elsewhere in the country, including recapturing the northern city of Tikrit.
American officials had worried the militias could inflame sectarian tensions in the province and ultimately make it harder to pacify.
Police in Waco, Texas said 192 people were being arrested on Monday in connection with a biker gang shootout that left 9 dead and 18 injured a day earlier. Those under arrest will face charges of engaging in organized crime, police said in a statement following a deadly gun battle at a sports